In my last video, we ran through part 1 of this 2-part series of videos, so for those of you that missed that one, make sure to go back and watch it after you watch this. Basically, in these 2 videos, I went through all 30 NBA teams, and after going through every player on their rosters, made predictions for who I believe will be in the Hall of Fame when their careers come to an end. Last video, we did the teams in the Eastern Conference, which means for today's video, we will be running through the teams in the Western Conference. Being a Hall of Famer is the ultimate nomination that certifies you as one of the true elites of the history of basketball, and only the best of the best get in. Yes, the Basketball Hall of Fame has proven to be a bit easier to get into compared to the Hall of Fames for other professional sports, but you still need to be an elite player for an extended period of time with an impressive resume. Also, I just wanted to say that not every team we discuss in this video will have a Hall of Famer on it. Before we get started though, it turns out about 76% of you watching aren't even subscribed to the channel, so please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, because not only does it greatly help, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. We'll be going in alphabetical order, so to start things off, we have Dallas, and their future Hall of Famer is the current face of the franchise, Luka Doncic. The start Luka has gotten off to in his career is nothing short of sensational, averaging a massive 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists per game this year, leading them to the playoffs, all at just the age of 21. He isn't even close to hitting his prime yet, and he's putting up Hall of Fame numbers, and nothing tells me that's gonna stop anytime soon. Up next is Denver, and their future Hall of Famer is Nikola Jokic. Jokic is one of the most unique big men we have ever seen step on a basketball court, operating as a playmaker from the center position at a level better than anyone in history, along with being a dominant low-post scorer and capable stretch big. He too is just getting started in his young career, but it's off to a flying start. Up next is Golden State, and their Hall of Famers are Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Curry's case is very easy, being a multiple-time MVP winner and champion, but Klay I can see squeaking in too, because he also is one of the best shooters of the basketball history. He's played a massive role on a dynasty that won time and time again, and that contributing to that kind of success definitely gets taken into account when the Hall of Fame makes their votes. Next up is Houston, and their future Hall of Famers are James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Both of these players are winners of the League MVP award, which makes their case pretty simple and easy. Additionally, they're two of the best players to ever play their positions, Harden for his lethal scoring ability, and Russ for his non-stop attacking and forceful attack at the basket, and they both should make it without much issue because I think they're both easily top 50 players of all time. Next up is the Clippers, and their future Hall of Famers are Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I realize the public perception on both of these two at the moment, especially for George, is as negative as it's ever been because of what happened in this year's playoffs, but overall, they both have unbelievable resumes. Kawhi is a lock for the Hall of Fame, as he's a 2-time champion and Finals MVP, but George, I can definitely see making it as well for being a 6-time All-Star, a 5-time member of the All-NBA team, and 4-time member of the All-Defense team, being a very consistently great player for the last decade or so. Up next is the Lakers, and they have the most bids in the entire video at 4, with those players being LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and Rajon Rondo. LeBron's an obvious one, but then Anthony Davis solidified his case immensely this year by helping lead the team to a championship as their leading scorer. Dwight Howard was also pretty much already a Hall of Famer because of his absolute dominance during his Orlando Magic days, and Rondo as well because of how brilliant of a floor general he was when he was playing for the Celtics and having already been a champion previously, but adding this year's ring to both of their resumes certainly helps a ton. Next up is Memphis, and their future Hall of Famer is someone who has only played 1 season so far, being Ja Morant. I realize this is an incredibly bold claim, but I absolutely think Morant has what it takes to get there. In his first season, he almost led one of the least talented rosters to the playoffs in a stacked Western Conference, and at only 21 years old, he's got so much time to build that resume up. Next up is Minnesota, and their future Hall of Famer is Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns is one of, if not the most talented offensive big man in the NBA right now, as he's an absolute lights-out shooter, has a very strong handle for a center that creates a ton of mismatches, and he can also dominate the paint as well. He definitely needs to start contributing more to winning basketball if he wants to get to the Hall of Fame, but his talent is undeniable. Up next is New Orleans, and their future Hall of Famer is Zion Williamson. Zion's rookie season had a ton of ups and downs, and he 100% has a lot of things that he needs to work on, such as his fitness levels and his defense, but barring any career-ruining injuries, his ceiling is still one of the best players in the league if he can get there. His explosiveness is at a level that we've never seen before, he attacks the basket with unstoppable force, and he has so much time to improve himself. Next up is Oklahoma City, and their future Hall of Famer is Chris Paul. Paul's career is seen as one of underachievement by many, but the fact of the matter is that individually, Paul has been an elite point guard that has run teams at a high level, matched by very few ever to play. He may not have a championship under his belt, but he's still an all-timer, and even now in his older age, he's making the teams that he plays for better. Up next is Phoenix, and their future Hall of Famer is Devin Booker. Booker's been an elite scorer, but he's been someone doing it for bad teams. However, in the bubble this year, it really seemed like he and the team began to turn a tide, and with him producing at this level while still only being 24 years old, he'll surely start to make some postseason noise in his prime if the team ever gets it together. Up next is Portland, and they have two Hall of Famers with Damian Lillard and Carmelo Anthony. In his prime, Carmelo was one of the most dangerous scorers in the league, and although he doesn't have any finals appearances to show for it, he's had an incredibly illustrious career that is absolutely Hall of Fame worthy. Lillard is still in his prime, but he's kind of in the same boat, where he's had a ton of individual brilliance despite not taking that next step to title contention. Next up is Sacramento, and unfortunately they're another team with zero future Hall of Famers on their roster. De'Aaron Fox is a promising youngster, but I just don't know if he'll ever develop into a truly elite top-tier guy. Up next is San Antonio, and weirdly enough, I don't think any of their players are Hall of Famers either. LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan are basically both right on the cusp, but while both have had consistently very good careers throughout their playing days, padded by tons of All-Star appearances and All-NBA team appearances, I just think they're both just shy of a nomination. And finally, the last team is Utah, and their future Hall of Famer is Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell came in as a rookie and blew all expectations out of the water, taking over as the team's #1 option on offense and carrying a large brunt of the load. This postseason, he put up over 50 points twice in one series, putting him in absolutely elite company, and he, like many others we've discussed, is just getting started. Rudy Gobert is a player who I think has a chance because of his defensive Player of the Year awards, but I really just don't think he's done enough in other areas to give himself the resume that other Hall of Famers have. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who else you think would make it that maybe I didn't mention. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.